Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. It's Eric. Earlier I reviewed Pikmin 3 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch and I presented a question. I said, why isn't anybody talking about this game? Pikmin 3 I feel is a very underappreciated, underrated Wii U title, and I was excited that it was coming over to the Nintendo Switch. It's been about a few days, and I really haven't seen too many people talk about it until today because an article came out that presented some disappointing news in regards to sales for Pikmin 3, at least in the UK. Now, I haven't seen any figures for the United States or anything, but this might not be a good sign in regards to how Nintendo perceives the Pikmin franchise. You know, a lot of times gamers want Nintendo to make more sequels to game titles such as Pikmin, F-Zero, Punch-Out, Wave Race, Metroid. You know, the list goes on and on. There's so many franchises that it almost feels like Nintendo neglects them in order to keep producing Mario, Zelda, Yoshi, and Kirby games and Pokemon. Because let's be real, if it sells, if it makes money, keep doing those. Don't risk, you know, having a bomb. Well, Nintendo finally decided to bring Pikmin 3 as a port from the Wii U to the Switch. I was ecstatic for it. Again, Pikmin 3 was a beloved game of mine that I think just has a charm, and I feel that it's not appreciated enough. So we're going to read this article from Nintendo Life. Before we get into it, if you have not subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and click the red subscription button down below. We're almost to 74,000 subscribers. I'm excited. Why don't you guys help me get there? My year-end goal is to be at 100,000. I don't know how likely that'll be happening, but it would be fun to get close to that number. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. So this says Pikmin 3 opening week physical sales were lower on Switch than Wii U. This is from the UK, so not what Nintendo was hoping for. So again, this is UK results. So it says last Friday saw the launch of Pikmin 3 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch and a new improved port of Pikmin 3, which originally released on Wii U. In an unusual turn of events, the Switch version hasn't managed to outperform the original game in its opening week sales, in the UK at least. So opening week UK sales, Pikmin 3 on the Wii U still has outsold the new Nintendo Switch consoles game. I mean, granted, maybe there wasn't enough shipments out. We don't know how many games were released and distributed to the United Kingdom. And then it doesn't include the United States, which could have definitely a lot more. Interesting. So it says, thanks to the Switch's significantly higher install base, we've seen plenty of Wii U ports jumping over to the Nintendo's newest console and enjoying great success. One example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch has already sold more than 26 million copies worldwide, with that figure ever rising. And that 26 million for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think that surpassed the original Wii U count. That was one of the highest selling Nintendo Switch games at the time. I think the owner ratio from like Switch console owners and owning a Mario Kart copy at one point was almost 1-to-1. It also says compared to the Wii U version's final total of just 8.45 million. So the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe only sold 8.45 million compared to the 26 million that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch has sold. It says Pikmin 3 hasn't followed suit, however. GamesIndustry.biz reports that in terms of physical sales in the UK, the Switch version's opening week sales are down 18.5% when compared to the original Wii U release. Ooh. And taking a look at it, the physical chart that will be on here shows that the game debuted in 7th place, being outperformed by plenty of other Nintendo titles, which have been available for some time. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this mentions a lot of different games. So FIFA came #1 in the UK. We all know soccer's big, so that's a given. I personally like FIFA games. Then you had Watch Dogs Legion, which just debuted, came out on the 30th, came in at #2. That's going to be stiff competition no matter what you are. But Animal Crossing is still holding a top 3 position. That came out like what, April? Like very early on into the pandemic. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been a Nintendo Switch title since 2017, 2018, for almost 3 years now. It's still in the top 5. Minecraft, another game that's been out for some years. Mario 3D All-Stars That just came out about a month ago. And then Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So that's who's above it. Now, granted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these titles out of the top 7 are all Nintendo Switch games. So there's nothing to really frown about. These were some of the best Switch games ever made. Mario Kart 8, Mario 3D All-Stars, Animal Crossing. Now, I know 3D All-Stars is ROMs. It's ports of old games, but still. Then you got Ring Fit Adventure, which is another Switch title. And then you got Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope. I have no idea what that is. And then Minecraft Dungeons. So, almost all these games, at least half of them are Nintendo Switch titles. So maybe it's not as much gloom and doom as people are saying for Pikmin. Whether you want to slice it up or not. Now, I've heard people saying, okay, this is not what Nintendo wanted. They wanted this to do good and sell. All right, so it says it's worth noting Nintendo doesn't disclose its weekly digital sales data, and if digital sales were included, that 18.5% gap likely won't be quite as severe. Digital sales are on the up across the board, after all, even so, more so thanks to the current pandemic, and we're sure plenty of Pikmin fans have chosen to download a copy this time around. So here's the silver lining here. While this says physical sales were lower on Switch than Wii U, first you got to equate the UK. That's just the United Kingdom. That doesn't include the United States. That doesn't include Australia. That doesn't include, you know, other parts of the world that might have bought this. Japan, even. We don't have numbers for any of that. This is just the UK. Now, on top of that, if you look at the greater picture of things, it's still a top 10 title. No matter how you slice it. And this is just physical. This is just physical. It's still a top 10 title. Granted, it made it in at number 7. But you really expect Pikmin to compete against brand new Watch Dogs and a brand new FIFA game and Animal Crossing, which has been like the best-selling Switch game of 2020. Being realistic here, it's not out of the realm to say, okay, that's reasonable. For just coming out and being an obscure franchise, I think number 7 is a pretty good thing. And then again, it said it didn't include the digital amounts, like the digital statistics. So I wouldn't be thinking, okay, this is the end for Pikmin. Pikmin 4 is not going to happen. Nintendo kind of hinted at it quite a while back. I know it's something that's in the works. They mentioned it. It's going to be coming out, regardless of how Pikmin 3 Deluxe sells on the Nintendo Switch. Again, we don't have the information for how it did in the United States. We don't have the digital sales information. So it's not doom and gloom. I quite frankly disagree with anybody that says that this is a bad sign. I think Nintendo is going to stick with the plan. I think we will see a Pikmin 4, or else there was no point in bringing Pikmin 3 Deluxe over. This was just something that tied people over, kind of like Age of Calamity is something that is going to tide people over. I mean, that's like saying, oh, Age of Calamity is not going to do as good, so forget it. No more Breath of the Wild 2. Now, there's a rhyme and reason to everything. I think all these ports and stuff that we're seeing from Nintendo is just to hold people over. Plus, people didn't really play the Wii U version. You saw the numbers for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was much more smaller than the Wii U version than with the Switch version. So just because it's opposite doesn't mean it just puts a fork in the plans. I think we're going to be okay. We will see that Pikmin 3 did all right. It did passable. It wasn't a complete bomb. It's still a top 10 title in the UK. UK is not exactly as big of a market as the United States is. I think the US sales is what matters, and I don't think we even seen those. And that was just for the launch week. Who knows what could happen with the holiday season, with Black Friday coming out. I think it'll be all right. I'm not losing hope in anything related to the Pikmin franchise. But that's just my thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.